your last video of this unit. Today we're going to be looking at how Congress started to take steps to become independent from Great Britain. So we're going to start off talking about the First Continental Congress. And there are a couple of things that you need to know about this. The First Continental Congress convened, or they met, as a result of the Intolerable Acts. Okay, so if you remember, the Intolerable Acts were passed against the colonies in response to the Boston Tea Party. So they meet and they discuss what they're going to do, how they're going to respond to Great Britain's Intolerable Acts. And the big thing that comes out of that meeting is that they decide to pass an embargo against Great Britain. And the embargo is a prohibition of trade. So the colonies, in passing the embargo, were trying to put a damper on the British economy because so much of it was based on trade with the colonies. Shortly after that, on April 19th, 1775, we have the Battle of Lexington and Concord, which is the first battle of the Revolutionary War. This is the shot heard round the world and don't fire until you see the whites of their eyes and all of those wonderful stories that you remember from American history. In response to the Battle of Lexington and Concord, Congress convenes at the Second Continental Congress, and they are very aptly named. First Continental Congress, second, they couldn't come up with anything more creative. But the big thing that comes out of the Second Continental Congress is that they named John Hancock the president of the Congress, and they also take on the role of a central government. So they start making decisions that a central government would make. Things like we're going to try to raise a military, we're going to issue currency, that kind of stuff. And it's interesting that they did that in the Second Continental Congress because they really had no authority to do what they were doing, but they did it and it worked. Okay. So with that, the Second Continental Congress is the group that decides to eventually push us on towards independence from Great Britain. So we start off in June of 1776 with a representative to the Second Continental Congress. His name was Richard Henry Lee, and he proposes a resolution in June of 1776 that the colonies should be free, that they should be their own country, that they should be politically separate from Great Britain. And Congress likes that, and they set a subcommittee to work on drafting this Declaration of Independence. And that subcommittee included people like Thomas Jefferson and John Adams and Benjamin Franklin, and lots of those names that you know. And their job was to come up with this Declaration of Independence. So on July 2nd, 1776, the document was presented to the Continental Congress, and they officially voted to approve the document. So they essentially said on July 2nd, okay, we're free. We are completely free from Great Britain. We are our own political entity. We are our own country. Okay. So then on July 4th, 1776, the delegates or the representatives to the Continental Congress are still signing the document. They also approve any last minute changes and edits to the document, and they send it off to be printed. So they're like, okay, this is officially official. We have declared our independence. Okay. So then the Declaration of Independence, we're going to do some stuff on this in class, but I do want you to know that there are three main parts of the Declaration. And the first part is the statement of principle. The second part is the list of grievances. And the third part is the conclusion, or the here's what's happening based on the declaration. So I will stop there. If you guys have any questions, please let me know.